Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. This is Lifestyle Critic, where we break down movies and TV shows into their core elements. And in this video, we are going to be reviewing Abduction, which is an action thriller movie that was trying really hard to be a really cool spy thriller movie. And it was alright in certain parts, but it was really cringy in other parts, and the mystery itself just wasn't that inspiring. It was the final directorial movie by John Singleton, and it really should have been the movie that really demonstrated what Taylor Lautner can do outside of the Twilight franchise. But unfortunately for him, he got absolutely slammed for his portrayal in this film, and I feel really bad for him, as his career really could have gone in a very different direction to what it went to if it wasn't for Abduction. But anyway, let's break down the movie review for Abduction. So from a storyline point of view, the actual premise of this movie is actually pretty decent. It's just the execution of it just wasn't the best. But as far as the storyline is concerned, it is centered around a character called Nathan Harper, who discovers that his parents aren't actually his parents when he finds himself on a missing children's website. A series of unexpected events then take place, which puts Nathan and his neighbor Karen on the run, fighting for their lives, not knowing who they can trust, and trying to work out what is really going on. So from a cast and characters point of view, Abduction actually has a pretty decent cast. It's just really unfortunate that the lead got totally slated for his performance in this film, which let's break it down one by one. So first up we have Taylor Lautner, who, like I said, was the person who this movie should have really showed what a brilliant action hero he can be outside of the Twilight franchise, but unfortunately his portrayal got really slammed. I mean, I thought it was alright. He did brilliantly in all of the action scenes. You could believe his romance with the Karen character, and I felt like he carried the movie pretty decently. Yes, his acting wasn't the best that it could have been. But that being said, if you compare it to Bloodshot, where Vin Diesel, in that movie his acting wasn't the best, but he was still able to carry the movie pretty well, and it was still enjoyable. It's just unfortunate that Taylor Lautner got totally slated in this movie, along with the storyline not being that brilliant. Next up we have Lily Collins, who plays a character called Karen, and she's a bit of a love interest to the Taylor Lautner Nathan character. I thought she was pretty decent in this film. I think Lily Collins is a brilliant actress, and all of her body of work since Abduction has been pretty decent, and I thought she was alright in this movie. Next up we have Alfred Molina, the Doc Ock character from the Spider-Man 2 movie, is in this film as well. You don't know whether or not you can trust him or whether you can't trust him because he's a bit of a villain character, and you're not sure about whether he's a friend to the Nathan character or a bit of a foe to him. Next up we have Jason Isaacs from the Harry Potter series, who plays Nathan's father, or is he his father in this film, and I thought he was pretty decent, at least for the first act of the movie. Similarly, we have Marie Belo, who plays the mother to the Nathan Harper character, and they could have done a little bit more with the dynamic of the mother, father, and the Nathan son character. I feel like it was really quickly skimmed past, and then they kind of went into the chase sequence, and I feel like they could have done a little bit more setup, but either way, those two actors did a really good job. We then have the main villain of the film, played by the late Michael Nyqvist, and he was a really great character in terms of constantly being on the chase with the Nathan character, and the final encounter that the two characters have was absolutely brilliant. So from a cast and characters point of view, whilst the cast was pretty decent, unfortunately some of the portrayals by some of the actors was overly criticised. So from a visuals point of view, all of the action scenes were brilliant, as all of the fight sequences and the chase sequences were pretty good in this film, and I feel like Taylor Lautner did a really good job in terms of leading all of those. And you could also feel like these characters are in high school and that they're kind of embroiled in a bit of an unexpected spy situation. So that was really great. I feel like where this film kind of breaks down is the tone, because you're not really sure what the tone of the film is. If it's trying to be very serious, it doesn't do the best job, because some scenes, like I said, are really, really cringy. And if it's trying to be funny, it doesn't do that either, because it's not really that much of a humorous movie. So I feel like the tone of this film is kind of where it breaks down. But either way, from a visuals point of view, some of the scenes are actually pretty awesome. So from a comparison point of view, I'd say Abduction kind of borrows from loads of different genres and movie titles. So from an action point of view, it's a bit similar to Enemy of the State. From a spy point of view, I'd say it's similar to the Bourne franchise and the Spy Kids franchise. And in terms of, characters being in a bit of an unexpected situation, I'd say it's a little bit similar to Game Night as well. But like I just said a second ago, I feel like where the confusion of this film is that it just doesn't necessarily know which one of those particular areas it wants to be focused on. And as a result, it's just a little bit confusing and a little bit uninspiring as well. So overall, I'd say, you know, it's such a shame that Abduction got totally slated by the critics in terms of the actual film narrative and the main portrayal by the Taylor Lautner actor. I'd say, you know, it is a bit of a watchable, light-hearted, easy action spy thriller movie. You know, whilst the ending of this movie was a little bit anticlimactic and a little bit disappointing, and whilst the tone was a little bit confused, and whilst there were other aspects of the premise that they really could have pushed a lot more. So, you know, it is a decent watch, and so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give it a solid 5.5 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.